Hi folks, how are you doing? Here we have more interesting and beautiful games from the 2015 US Chess Championships. In this case, from the 8th round, we have the young GM from Utah, Troff, and Hikaru Nakamura, the strongest players of the United States, having a great tournament so far, playing with black pieces today. Above 2800 in live ratings, and well, apart from a couple of mistakes against Wesley So and maybe against Kamsky, where he was winning, he's, apart from that, playing with a lot of confidence. And well, in the 8th round there was quite a tactical, interesting game which we are about to see. Kaiden plays 1d4 and Hikaru goes for the, you will hardly guess it, c5, the Benoni, the modern Benoni. I can't recall the last time I saw him playing the Benoni. He said you won't see me playing the Benoni match, but it seems he had prepared a nice move here, a nice novelty, as we will see. And well, taking into account that white was supposed to be the underdog here, and black was, Hikaru was in a really winning mood, tactical mood, so this is a good choice. We see the main line of the Benoni, d5, the exchanges, d6, now we see g6, and the fianchetto variation by white, g3. Bishops go to g7 and g2, and they both castle. Now we see rook e8, the main line of this variation. Black is controlling strongly e4. Rook e1 is played here, where rather than rook e1, moves like knight d2, bishop f4, h3 were also very popular. But okay, white plays rook e1, still willing to push the pawn. a6 with a typical move which black would love to play, b5 and knight bd7. I mean, these are easy to remember ideas in the Benoni, like playing a6, knight bd7, trying to play b5, easier to remember than to accomplish actually most of the times, but Hikaru is going to play a great game here. a4 by white to try to stop, of course, b5, knight bd7, and white finally pushes his pawn to e4. A couple of main choices here, like queen c7, but Hikaru goes for the other very logical move, knight to g4. Apart from liberating the bishop on g7, the main point I think is to try to establish a strong piece on e5, and white tries to play against that plan, playing knight to d2. Now whenever you put a piece in, if white is in good conditions to do so, he would play f4, kicking that piece and having a good position. Apart from that, this knight is having here a look at the important c4 square, really key square for both players actually in all Benoni structures, also in the Benko Gambit with a similar structure. Here the theory is almost over. There are only a couple of games in this line between Yasser Seirawan and Christiansen, two legendary American GMs, each of them winning one game. Knight g5, and now white goes bishop to f1, protecting d3, and also having a look at the c4 square. You know, the bishop is not doing that much anymore on g2 so far, so it went to f1 and g5. This is the move apparently Hikaru had prepared, the novelty had prepared for this game. He said, well, I understand this move as well, Hikaru himself told it was the idea, whenever white gets f4 in good conditions, well, he will have a good game. And in this case, after g5, if white wants to play f4, black will take, white will have to take with the pawn, and the position of his king will be really open, the g file would be open, and that would definitely favor black, who is trying to attack, trying to have a kingside attack initiative going on. And so, having to face this novelty on the board, Troff plays h3, while defending g4 square, but probably slightly weakening. Queen f6 was played, and now queen h5. I guess trying to prove g5 was a weakening move. Maybe he wants to get away with this knight and attack this with 2 pieces. Not really sure about the idea of this move, but okay, it's a move. Bishop h6, now protecting twice this pawn, and knight to d1. This knight from c3 is looking for more active ways, places to go, like e3, and later maybe f5 or even g4 are looking good. But Hikaru doesn't wait, he just pushes the pawn and tries to get white's kingside position open. Knight to e3, he takes, that's why the bishop came there probably. Rook takes, and queen back to g7. Getting ready even sometimes to play f5 maybe, and really having some quite some initiative here. H takes was played, knight takes, now hitting the rook, which went to c3, and knight d to f6, clearly having the initiative during all the game. Hikaru Nakamura here, almost having completed his development. Just this rook isn't participating so far, but both these knights are looking very nice. The queen, even the rook, the bishop is being active, and whenever you have to put your pieces like this, queen on h1 and all the pieces here on the first rank, you know this can't be a good sign. Moreover, if it's Hikaru on the other side of the board looking at you, willing to checkmate, rook e5, very logical here. The rook would love to come here to h5, I guess, having really lots of effect on the open h file. Queen goes to f3, and here we reach a move which was highly criticized by Hikaru himself, a move by Nakamura, bishop d7, move number 23. Well, he said after this white could have played rook b3, and he said white is clearly better after this move. Clearly it seems white gets some counter attack here, as you can't play b5 easily, as there are tactics involving the hanging rook on a8, etc. The bishop is also protecting the b5 square, so black clearly has some, I mean white has some really improved his position after rook b3. If rook b8, well, you can see rook takes a6. There are lots of things there going on, but Kaiden Troff didn't went for that move. Instead, after bishop d7, he played queen to d3, leaving his king kind of unprotected, separating the most powerful piece from the defense. Well, queen to h6, immediately threatening the good old mating one on h2, and this is basically over. There is no good way of protecting from that threat. Bishop g2 was played, but there it goes, queen h2 check, king f1, and now we see a festival of fireworks and tactics by Hikaru Nakamura, so enjoy. Knight takes f2, sacrificing a piece, king takes to recover it right back with this pin and attack against this bishop on g2. Well, white tries to protect it, but it's really useless. Queen f1 was played, but black has very active pieces here, and there they go, bang, rook takes e4, sacrificing it. Knight takes, and now the knight from f6 comes to e4 with a check and a fork against the king and the rook. Of course the bishop is pinned and cannot take. King e3 was played, and now Nakamura will be merciless and show us a great tactical eye. Bishop takes g2, attacking the queen, protecting the knight. The queen went to f4. Of course white could have already resigned here. There is really not much to play for anymore, but it's good we saw all these tactical nice maneuvers. Knight takes c3 was played. Okay, white gets to check black here. King goes to f8, and after b takes c3, the last piece of black comes into play. Rook to e8 check, king f2, and after bishop h2 discovered check, it was all she wrote. White resigned before getting mated. Only one square I think White can go to, and I bet Hikaru would have found this checkmate in one, Queen G2. Very nice game by Hikaru Nakamura, leading the US 2015 US Chess Championship, playing really with great confidence and style so far. Thanks for watching.